Gross profit versus net profit, it's not the same. And today I'm going to share with you some ways that you can fix that problem in your business. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting and host of the Big Stud Podcast. Please subscribe to the channel. Everybody asks you to, because when you do that, our channel grows and we get to impact more people. So if you got value from this, please subscribe, please share. If you share something on social media, I'd love for you to tag me, Mike Claudio, or at WinRate Consulting on Instagram. I want to engage with you. If you're watching and you've been watching and you want to engage with me, come find me on the internet. I'd love to hear from you. I don't always have time to coach you on everything you're asking about, just being fair, but I'd love to connect with you and learn more about your situation. But ultimately, I see this happen a lot where contractors and just business people in general don't understand the difference between gross and net profit. So if you look at gross profit, you take revenue from a project minus the labor necessary to do it, minus the material necessary to do it, and that's your gross profit. What you're not accounting for in that, where the net profit comes in, is all of the overhead, non-job specific expenses that go into that. Truck payments, insurance, rent, salaries of office employees, all the things that go into making your business run that are not specifically on that job. So when you look at gross profit, you want to be somewhere between 35 and 45%. I know people that want to be closer to 55 or 60. I know some people that are closer to 25 to 30, but really like 35 to 45% gross profit is where you need to be. But here's the real trick about it. It's not the same for everybody. A company that has a warehouse and multiple trucks is going to have a different gross profit requirement than somebody doing out of their house with one truck, right? The overhead's different. So here's how I calculate where you need to be for you to be profitable after the overhead expenses. Take all of your overhead expenses, the truck payments, the insurance, the rent, the salaries, all the things that go into making your business run, combine it into a monthly number, and then divide it by 20. That is your daily overhead rate. That's how much money you're churning out every day to run the business that's not job specific. So if it's not a laborer on a job site, a sub on a job site, material on a job site, it's all the other expenses that are on your P&L. Add them up. Phones, marketing, salaries, rent, all that stuff. Divide it by 20, right? Monday through Friday, 4 weeks a month, ballpark. If you want to go all the way up to 50 weeks, you can do a weekly rate as well, typically 50 working weeks in a year. But divide it. What is the total amount spent? Divide it into what I like to do is a daily number. So you can figure out what your daily overhead rate is so that you know when you're operating a project, I'm hitting this amount. We do this much revenue in a day. Here's how much gross profit we had for that day. Here's our daily overhead number. That's now I know what my net profit number is. So it can be a little complex if you're not tracking your numbers appropriately. If you don't have a bookkeeper or you're not tracking your expenses, you're just basing your business success on the health of your bank account, it's gonna be difficult to do this exercise. So if you don't have a bookkeeper in place right now, I would highly suggest that. Get a CPA involved as well so that you're tracking and marking off and deducting the right expenses. But if you have a decent P&L in place and you're tracking expenses pretty effectively, figure this out, because this is where most people lose. They don't understand their overhead expenses. Like, oh, I made $5,000 on that project, but you don't realize it cost you $7,000 that day to run the business. So you actually lost $2,000. This is where the big problems happen, where businesses don't understand. They see themselves making money on projects, but they're not accounting for the cost to run the business off the projects. So, but gross profit, job specific, labor, material, revenue. Net profit is you take that gross profit minus your overhead expenses, and the money left over is your net profit. So I'd suggest calculating out a weekly or daily rate for overhead so you can make sure you're pricing appropriately to account for your overhead, because every business overhead is different. There is no set fee. There is no set number. There are people like, well, what do you charge? Everybody should be charging different because everybody's cost different to run their business. So if you're struggling with that or have any specific questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. But if you don't have a bookkeeper and a CPA in place, I'd highly suggest making that happen. I'll tell you, I'm not the numbers guy when I'm looking in a P&L, but I have the people in place to track everything and give me the reports I need so that I can make a decision. Ultimately, I want you to get control of this so that you can win fast and win often.